those were the first cases that happened in the U.S. So for people to already have antibodies at that point.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think it went back to probably December of 2019. This seems to be the current. Some people believe November, but it does seem to be earlier.
Here in the States?
There has been some recent reporting on that.
Wow.
But that wouldn't. I think the first cases came in February, right? That we knew initially in Los Angeles. I
maybe
think
there were like very
travelers.
few.
Yeah, from China and such.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's an interesting thing. It's tough to really. It didn't seem like it was exploding at that time. If you look at all-cause mortality, you see a huge spike in March and April. I mean, it definitely seems like that's when it really hit. But we don't know exactly. Look, it's China, and until we will find out at some point in like 2060 that China knew way more than we ever knew. It's like when some Iron Curtain falls and somebody leaks some documents and you find out, decades later with these communist regimes what actually happened. We've seen it over and over again with the Soviet Union as their country crumbled. We found out all sorts of stuff that we didn't know.
Well, China is still claiming 86,000 people are infected to this day.
I mean, come on.
And 4,634 people have died.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, that is asinine.
No, it's not true.
That can't be. It's got to be 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times higher than that.
When will we know? And probably not for a really